So, what would I tell any buyer thinking about buying a home right now in Sarasota in 2026? I mean, this is the end of 2025 when I'm videotape recording this, and 2026 is here. It's coming in just a day. By the time this is posted, it'll be 2026. So, if you're thinking about buying a home in 2026, here's the main thing to know up front. We don't have a super low inventory in the market anymore. The old idea is out of date, and if you follow it, you're likely to get burned. You're likely to pay too much. I mean, inventory has gone up year after year, and the latest reports from November 2025 is just out from the Real Estate Association of Sarasota Manatee, and it shows it's still rising. I'm looking forward to getting the year-end report from the Real Estate Association and getting the December report, but our numbers come out about a month late, but it still looks like it's a buyer's market all the way through into the next year. So, a few years ago, buyers had to rush. They had to bid way over asking. They had to skip inspections and act super fast or lose the house. A lot of buyers that bought then and want to buy now, or they're kind of trained that it kind of trained everyone to think that that's still how it works. If you're not in the business, you might think, well, I'm just gonna have to put in an offer and get what I can get. So, but it's not that way now. So 2026 is different. It's kind of a new phase, and buyers who have the hardest time next year are going to be the ones that still have that 2022 thinking. And the buyers that are going to do well are actually going to adapt, and they're going to have a realtor. They're going to be able to negotiate a great price. And it's not always going to be about price, right? So inventory isn't tight like before. I mean, condos especially have plenty over 8 months of supply in Sarasota County right now. And that's buyer territory, right? That's definitely not a balanced market. We're definitely into a buyer's market. And what we mean by that when we say over 8 months or 8 months of supply, it means that if we stopped adding homes to the market right now, if no one else listed their house for sale, it would take about 8 months to sell all those condos in Sarasota. So single family homes are tighter, around 4.8 months, 4.5 months of supply. So that's still much better than the crazy low levels where there was no homes and everybody was fighting to get a home and they had ridiculous multiple offers on homes. So as a buyer, you've got great opportunities this year in 2026. It's going to last probably as long as the market as long as the market conditions stay the way they are. If we get better interest rates or if people start feeling better about the market itself, then, those that are kind of waiting on the sidelines, once everybody joins in, not going to be the greatest market for everybody. It's going to be harder for buyers and it's going to be better for sellers. So, yeah, more choices don't necessarily mean prices crash. It means that prices are holding steady overall. Some areas even up a bit because there are still desirable areas. In fact, the other day, my buyer's agent on my team, Daria Chmil, she had put in an offer on a property that had been sitting on the market for 4 months. And law of attraction, another offer came in on that same condo where her buyers just put an offer in. Nobody's going after it, and then all of a sudden, there's multiple offers. So they're happening, especially in desirable neighborhoods. And sometimes homes sit on the market for a while. So don't wait if you find something good. You just got to make a great offer. All right, so how do we make a great offer? Well, offers are structured. It's not necessarily about price. It's about the terms of the offer. Sometimes it's the timing. It's trying to find out by using with your realtor's help. You're going to find out, when does a seller really need to get out of the house? What are they looking for? Is it time? Is that important to them? Because it's usually time or money that's the most important thing to people. So sometimes it's just a matter of just asking a few of the right questions of the listing agent. So that's what I do. Well, anyhow, let's go back through. So I always take notes and I always go through my notes as I go through these videos just to make sure I help you guys. All right. So, homes that are priced right and are in good shape, they still sell. Sometimes they don't sell. We've got a few homes that are just sitting and it's really odd. So we are having to adjust the price. Sometimes we're just adjusting the marketing. and just trying to make sure it gets out to more people. Um, but for a buyer like you, you want to make sure that things like the condition, the location, the HOA fees, the flood zone, the insurance costs, they're all things that you can handle, the things that you want to have. But the market doesn't forgive bad picks anymore. What I mean is, it's not going to be easy to resell the home if you buy a home that you don't like. So it was the case a few years ago, where if you bought a home you didn't like, you could probably put it back in the market quickly and you wouldn't have to hold it. And so that kind of a mistake of buying a home without really investigating what all the costs are or how good a home it is, I would not recommend just rushing in and buying a home. Yeah, make sure you're going to buy a right home. I would choose, look at 3 to 4, maybe 5 homes. Try to find the right home after you've had your buyer's consultation. And make sure you do make a good choice. Don't overthink it, but just make sure it's a good home, because you're probably going to hold on to that home for a few years. Won't be able to resell it that easily if you don't like it. All right, so what are big mistakes that buyers make? Big mistake a lot of buyers make is thinking all of Sarasota is the same market, and it's not. In fact, we have Sarasota, Manatee counties, and we have new construction, old construction, older construction. There's so many opportunities, and then there's so many different locations and lifestyles right within the Sarasota Bradenton area. Sarasota, Bradenton, Venice, we've got such a diverse population here. And then there's always the waterfront and the islands and keys. So really, the breakdown is, in terms of lifestyle, we really want you to look around, take your time, maybe rent for a few weeks or maybe a couple months, and then pick out a great home for yourself. All right. So, condos and townhomes, there's more inventory, and homes are taking longer to sell. Prices are softer, but that means more room to negotiate, and we can get better deals, and we can get better concessions and fixes for you. And we'll just dig down a little bit and find out more about those homes. Let's see, single family homes. There's steady demand for them. They are selling. It doesn't mean that because inventory is low that they're not selling. It doesn't mean people are just going to give the home away. And that's what's the number one thing sellers say. I'm not going to give it away. They want to be fair, and they want to be treated fair, and they want a fair deal. So when you're negotiating, or when we're negotiating for you, we always have to look at the whole picture, and we have to look at both sides, both the selling side and the buyer side, and try to make sure that everybody gets something that's fair. Sellers are picky, but they're realistic. So they're not going to drop the prices enormously. But they are making adjustments from those highs of 2022. We got a big market, a lot of inventory, because a lot of sellers were thinking they're going to get the price they paid for their homes. And now things are starting to shift, where they're realizing, all right, to get the price they paid, they may have to wait longer, and they are. Or they may have to make some adjustments if they really need to get out. But using the wrong strategy in the wrong type of home as the wrong seller, that's going to equal overpaying or not getting the home at all. Truth. Yeah. Okay, so what's on your side? Time is on your side for a buyer. That's your tool. So here's the good news. Time is on your side again. Homes stay on the market longer. That means there's more price cuts overall, and sellers may be willing to accept less than asking, and they're doing that more often. It doesn't mean wait forever or lowball everything. If you lowball things, it's just going to piss the seller off. It's not going to work for you. What it does mean is get prepared, be financially ready. Make sure that if you're using a mortgage, you are like a cash buyer. You've got all of your ducks in a row. You've submitted all your forms, all your docs to your lender, and your lender is basically waiting for you to find the right home. They can finance you, knowing that you're great, your credit's great, or your financing is all in place, and you're almost like a cash buyer, just dependent upon the right home. Yeah. So you want to make sure your financing is great, so you're prepared. And then you want to know your numbers, and then you want to move smartly. So, and what we want to do is make sure that that we negotiate a great offer for you. And again, not always about price. Sometimes it's about terms. So the winner in 2026 isn't the fastest buyer. It's going to be the smartest buyer. Smart buyers think like this. They pick the type of home they want first. It's either a condo or single family home. They focus on the right neighborhood. They focus on a couple neighborhoods. They have options so that if it's not this home, that neighborhood, they know they can live in another one. They don't fall in love with the home. Yeah. Things you might want to do is watch real trends, not the scary news headlines. You might want to look at things like the Real Estate Association of Sarasota and Manatee's statistics page, and that gives you updates on what's going on in the market. Makes you a real estate expert, so to speak, because you can get the information. You can look at the past history. You can look at years of data and see where you're at and what the trends are. I've got to tell you, I'm filming this right now. It's almost January. It's December 30th, 2025. And January is typically one of the slowest months in Sarasota. Historically, you can see the data over and over. If you go to that Realtor Association of Sarasota Manatee statistics page, you'll see that over and over, year after year, January is one of the slowest sales months. So puts a lot of sellers in a panic. Yeah. But the market just starts heating up right after that. February, March, April, May, the sales just start going up and up and up. So keep that in mind. If you're coming in this time of year, it's going to be really good for you. But there's going to be a lot of homes on the market, and it's going to be a lot of competition coming though. So people are looking right now. They're coming and arriving, and they're going to be looking, and then they're going to be starting to put offers on homes. And sales start to go. All right. So what else do we want you to do? I want you to look at the total costs. I want you to not just look at the price. I want you to look at the insurance. I want you to look at the taxes. We want to look at the homeowners association fees, anything like that. We want to look at assessments that might be coming up if you are in somewhere that's has an HOA, especially condominiums. A lot of condominiums are being renovated and have to be renovated, and that's an expense. So we want to dig deep and make sure we get all the information. Interesting thing, when you're buying a home, if there's a homeowners association, it's up to you as the buyer to get the information from the homeowners association. If this sounds like information you haven't heard before, well, I don't sugarcoat it. Really, the market's changed, and I want to make sure that the buyers that I work with are informed, and we start off on a good foot. So I've got years of experience. I'm John Butigerds, by the way, and I've helped so many buyers in Sarasota and Manatee counties, and I'd love to help you. This channel is clearly about no hype information, and that way you can decide with confidence if you want to work with me and my team. We definitely can help you. If you're planning for 2026 and want to plan based on real local data and somebody with real local experience, I can definitely help you. In fact, go ahead and reach out, use the link below, grab our free buyer's guide as well at that link, and then subscribe for more straight talk updates. That's what we give you here. So I'll see you next time. Next video, you might want to watch the next relocation information video, or just contact me at 941-960-8858. Look forward to helping you. I've got a great team for you. Let's buy a home in 2026. I help you move to Sarasota, buy a home in Sarasota. Yeah, talk to you soon.